pulse practice exercise. We are in this afternoon of the Syrian Acuworkshop, and since we are all in presence, we can practice something that is difficult for many practitioners, which is a pulse diagnosis. And what I suggest here is that we experience a pulse and we experience also the difference after we needle. Because what is very difficult about the pulse is that it's very subjective. Okay, meaning that I take this pulse and I say, oh, this is a wiry pulse. Another person, a master, will take the pulse, no, I think it's more tight than wiry, and etc. And then it's very subjective, and then you feel it and you don't know, you would describe it a bit different. But maybe all the treatments that you're going to do within your own interpretation of the pulse are going to be good. And unless you follow the same master for many years, and every time he takes a pulse, you take the pulse right after, and then you learn his way of the pulse taking, unless you have the chance to do that, otherwise it's very difficult to learn pulse from somebody. Okay, so that's why what I'm offering you here. So I will give you a quick reminder about the pulse diagnosis, and then you're going to pair with someone, take the pulse, and try to make a diagnosis, if you can, about an excess or deficiency, if not about an imbalance. And then from this diagnosis, you're going to ask questions to the person to try to double check if your first diagnosis is correct, right? And then if it's correct, then you can choose one of the hand meridians, okay, that is representing that element, that is carrying that element, to put your needles. And how are you going to needle? You're going to needle according to Dr. Tan's 5-element balance. And if you have been to the class, you know how to calculate the points. If not, you can call me, and then I will help you to calculate. Okay? Good. So first thing, how do we take the pulse? I have explained a bit yesterday already, but what you can do first is you wander around at the X and Y level, okay, to try to find where the pulse is stronger and more relevant. And then it's important to check the depth of the pulse. So all this we have talked about a little bit yesterday. Then the other thing is, in Dr. Tan's tradition, we go by 5-element pulse. And why we do that? Because it's a simpler way of taking the pulse, comparing to what is sometimes presented as a 28 different kinds of pulse, which take years to just memorize all the 28 and then being able to feel them and distinguish them, okay, by pulse taking. So that's why Dr. Tan, he likes things that are very straightforward and simple, and that you can really use in clinic. So he prefers the 5-element pulse. So 5-element pulse, in his way, we don't make necessarily a difference between the left and the right. Okay, we are going to keep it even more simple here. We don't go by Zhangfu either. Okay, and we go more by the quality of the pulse. So a pulse that is, for example, of water element, okay, you're going to feel it more in the Chi position. There are Tsun, Guan, Chi, okay, Tsun, Guan, Chi. So water pulse will be more felt in the Chi position. And usually it's a deep pulse, but it can be deep at the water, the Chi position, or all of the positions. Okay, that's what we are going to call a water pulse. Then we have the metal pulse. We talked about it also yesterday, but as a quick reminder, a metal pulse will be floating. So that's a pulse that you feel at the first layer. Then we look for, let's say, the wood pulse after the metal. So wood pulse is going to be more wiry or tight. I give you an example. what we mean by wiry is like you put your fingers onto the guitar string, like the guitar string. That's what's one example from Dr. Tan as well. The other pose that we have is a fire pose. Fire pose would be, it can be fast, and it can also be like what I call overflowing, like bouncing, like a fire, you know, like it's extending like this. This is more a fire pose. And then, which one is missing? The earth. Okay, earth pose. It can be more silk or the so-called slippery pose. I like to use the example like I did yesterday when we talked about pose, the lava lamp. You know those lamps with the lava like this, and it's like you want to grab those bubbles. Okay, so this is a more earth pose, or when it's very silk. Okay, so then what is going to be very important, you know that the pose without the rest of the examination, pose in a way is nothing without the rest. Okay, so it's very, very important that you relate your pose taking to the clinic. Okay, so some pose, they can also be a mix of different elements, right? Or you can have one, I don't know, metal pose on one side and maybe one wood pose on the other side. Then you need to think, okay, what can be the story happening between those two elements? Okay? And of course, again, you check with the clinic. This is very important. Okay, let's start. And of course, I'm here. If you're not completely sure about your pulse diagnosis, I can come, I can check the pulse. You can do, of course, one person starts and then you will change roles. Okay, one person is first a practitioner, the other one is a patient, and then you can change the roles so that everybody has time to practice. And once you have your pulse diagnosis, you have confirmed with the clinic, and you have found the points. Okay, then you call me, I will double check with you, and then you do the needles, and then you check the difference. You should feel the difference immediately. Okay? And of course, again, if you need my help for finding the points, no problem. Okay, so let's start.
You doing your work? Yeah. Are you otherwise you can do it?
Yes. Okay, don't forget that the first impression usually is the best one. Okay, you don't have to take pulse for very long, because sometimes what happens is that you feel that, okay, oh, I think it's a wiry pulse, and then you keep on thinking, maybe there's a little bit fire too. I feel a bit of metal. So okay, don't keep it simple. Okay, that's usually the first impression, first feeling is the good one.
Nice to meet you.
Always nice to know you.
You want me to double check? But then you can continue your... It's a good start. Yes? Yes, sure, I'm coming.
This one?
Okay, what was your feeling?
I could feel like a little more here on the first position, as if I like see as a whole, and that's not like deep maybe, because all I could feel like kind of.
To me, there is something that is more obvious than that.
Okay, can you just do this one?
Ah, yeah.
And then this one is like more bouncy and fast.
Yes. The second one.
Yeah.
This, what you just told me, I think this is the most obvious. Then you need to ask your questions according to that. And check
I
with
mean,
her.
I should redo this side, then check.
Both are, this one is more bouncy,
Yes.
a bit more bouncy.
Yes.
But this one is bouncy and fast, and this one is just fast. But it's getting bouncy. So,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
So you can double check with her about what she's feeling, etc. Then what do you here?
I guess,
Okay. Yeah, you can tell me.
only on your face, right? Face,
I agree with you. However, I think there is something that maybe you don't care. It's not you don't care, but before you go in detail into each position, what is the first impression you get from taking the first one? Overall. No, don't go by the position. First, before you, it's a good thing that you want to analyze the different positions. It's very good. But I would like you to train yourself to have a bigger picture. This will help you. That's not the first impression I get. Try the other one. I will come back. I will come back. But don't forget to relate it to the clinic. You're gonna have to receive
I think it's better to allow yourself to put your fingers on it. And the first position winter and cold, you nearly always feel better.
Yes, that's why I don't think it's that's why I don't want to focus only on the position. That's why I want the overall idea about the
not jam.
yeah, but it feels different in the strength. Okay, but the overall feeling
The body. Okay, okay.
I understand you. You feel this one is the one that
I would first say this.
That is something true
I
about
don't
us.
think it's not wiry, it's not fast, it's not thin.
And you can do by elimination. That's also very good.
Yeah, so
It's not. This is true. Very fast.
if I would choose, I would say it's even. It's not the other one.
I don't know what is the problem about the pose
together. This
why
one
you don't like that.
is like
There's
like access. This works on this one. This works on this one.
By elimination.
Yeah,
Because by elimination is a waste.
No oxygen.
And it's not possible. You see? You need to trust yourself. This one is different.
This is the what you
This one is maybe there. Something else. Maybe
Diagnosis. Like, would it be true heat excess and true cold
Ja,
So you're the practitioner, right?
Yes.
Okay.
il est. Non, ça peut
Okay.
I felt left more wiry,
Yes.
and the right one too wiry. Oh, sorry, I felt more wood.
Where is wood?
Yeah, so this is more wood.
Yes.
That is more between wood and earth.
Yes, I agree with you. Yes, I totally agree with you. Then you can ask question for the question. Please, just one little thing. When you ask a question, okay, to double check your diagnosis, you think about the physical symptoms, the emotional symptoms, and the mental symptoms, okay, and also think about maybe what the person has just eaten for lunch, because we are doing this practice right after lunch, just to like if somebody ate a very cold food or very spicy food or very something like that and affect the pulse. Okay, so it's important to always still keep that in mind because we are doing this exercise right after lunch. Otherwise, you know that we have 3 levels. We have the more physical level, we have the more emotional level, and we have the more mental level. So try to evaluate according to those 3 levels. Okay, the symptoms.
Can you feel my pulse as well?
Eh?
Can you feel my pulse as well?
No, first you will, later you will inverse your role. Okay?
About meridians, we found water, we need to go to.
So
Yeah, just for water, you have to go to the. Just for water, of course, for water you have to go to the feet. Foot meridian, kidney or bladder. That's the only one. Otherwise, you can needle in the hand. You need more help? Thin and one other. Okay, do you feel this pulse has a lot of elasticity? That's one thing that can help. And you can also, yes, there is no elasticity, it's a bit too tight. So that is so you're correct about this thing. Okay, you're correct. I agree with you. Okay, and then it's a bit tight. So then you take the element, and then you ask the person.
when it expresses
It could be wood. Then you can discuss what could be wood symptoms. You think about the meridians that are carrying the wood element. You think about emotion. Okay, you can double check with the quality of the blood. Emotion related to that. Or português as well. You try to understand what is the story of this patient in terms of 5 elements. And of course, this exercise is a little bit difficult because we don't have a patient that is obviously very sick, right? So it's subtle, okay? Okay, who is at the moment of calculating? Yes. That is correct? I don't know.
So yeah,
Oh, well, I
she's also feeling cold, tired.
And that's
Four was for the heat, it was the four. It was weird improv.
Some people more than others.
Yeah, but if it would be emotion fear, then it
I don't know.
which gets you daily, or not, which is something you fear, which is
It's true that you have been here for just yesterday and today, but I don't know if you remember which day it was. But you see, every time when it's doing needling or anything, she's a lot like that. Her energy is a lot like that. And yeah, so you have your symptoms, you have your physical symptoms, you have your emotional symptoms, and you could have mental symptoms. By mental, it's more like psychological symptoms.
Then I would say fear is also mental.
Yeah, but it's a bit more, yeah, it's a bit more emotion also here. But you can have the mental, you can have, for example, people that are easily drifting away, they're in their, yes, this is water. You see, we're confirming now. Yeah. People, they easily in the, I don't say dreamland, but a little bit. And you can even maybe say, double check, for example, what is one of the elements that is a bit opposite to water, which is earth. And you can see she's not, you can check with her if she feels she's very grounded, she feels very stable, things you can also double check from that.
She make me stable before.
Yeah, of course, you can do that, of course. Yeah. So yeah, you can check the, yes, that's right.
Maar even kijken, wat is daar weer op water? Was makkelijk. Oké, je hebt naar... Ja,
So what was your diet? Oui, oui.
Et donc, c'était pas, il n'y avait rien de
I forgot to say here, people are more or less, we are here in the condition of a practice. We're not with people that are coming for consultation because they feel very sick. So don't expect necessarily to see a big fire pulse or big water pulse, okay? Yeah, exceptions. But otherwise it's normal. If you feel it a bit subtle, it's normal. Okay? Sorry.
Donc en fait, on s'est dit que c'était l'eau, les déficiences un peu d'eau et ça donne.
So why do
On a plutôt au lieu de faire le choix de diminuer le feu, j'ai pris, on a décidé de prendre l'eau et d'ouvrir l'eau, donc on a fait le technique, donc il y a 2 bois, on a choisi 2, donc c'est 2 gaz.
D'accord. Est-ce que vous avez vérifié avec la clinique?
Oui.
Est-ce qu'il y a des symptômes physiques ou émotionnels avec ça?
method to reduce.
And choose between the two bois, and maybe you can choose
Vous pouvez faire les deux en même temps aussi. Vous pouvez choisir de tonifier l'eau et de diminuer un petit peu le feu aussi. Les deux sont faisables. Vous pouvez essayer le rein de cassette déjà, voir ce que ça donne. So you check in it 247, the point that you calculated. You check what it is doing on the pulse and on the feeling of the patient. And if necessary, you can adjust another element.
And then you would take the heart for the fire.
Heart or small intestine?
which meridian do you use?
And when you have symptoms about
So I can use
you think about water.
Small water. Yes. Or fire. Depends. Depend on the condition. When does the water come and when does the cold come and when does the fire come. And again, it's the whole clinic that is around it.
And when do you choose the heart? When do you choose the small intestine? When for the fire, is it more if it's the heart is more emotional and you told you small intestine more?
Small intestine is a young fire, and heart is a yin fire. So young fire, you will have a more, I would say maybe a more powerful treatment in a way, and heart will be more subtle, more.
And it has nothing to do with the fact that you said that which is emotions. She has a lot of fire. She has no heartbeats or.
No, now at the moment we don't necessarily go by meridians. Okay, but if you need those kidneys, then you can choose heart because they balance each other. And that would be a more mild effect, softer effect.
Okay, good.
Delphine.
Yes.
I was thinking about what we were thinking about. Reducing metal to reduce wood, therefore balancing also earth. So you take a metal plant, large intestine for example, but then you shouldn't use this
Yes.
chart, right?
Unless you know it by heart.
No, I
but
don't know.
otherwise-
Well, and I don't know what.
So you first need to choose the metal if you want.
Metal block.
Not metal what? First, you need to choose on which meridian you're going to needle. Okay, so you can needle on the either the lung or the large intestine.
Large intestine.
You would do large intestine, okay? And then you choose the gua, and the Christian can help you, the destination gua according to what you want to do. Do you want? You said you want to use the metal to reduce the wood, right? Okay. So he will help because he knows that.
Okay.
Wood or not? You have
Ah, ok.
metal
En
blanc.
prenant l'eau, c'est plus fort, ça c'est un contrôle, que de prendre la terre.
Oui.
Et si la personne a déjà une déficience en eau, on est quand même de prendre ça, par exemple, parce qu'elle n'a pas beaucoup cet élément pour s'en occuper.
It's not very substantial, okay? It's more that the idea of water controlling the fire, but it's true that it's a more harsh treatment rather than using the earth to balance. So, yeah, I think the earth is a good choice. But I would first, before you go there, I would first needle this one. You see the change in the
Just
cost.
for the exercise to see
But
which
if you see someone is already depleted in water, you won't use it for fire. You know?
Yes, I agree with you. You can decide not to use water because the person has water deficiency. However, again, those elements are not necessary to be thought about. Okay, I have, I don't know, 50 millimeters of water left in my body, and so it's not enough to, it's not as much as that.
but as the complaints are soft, not
Yeah.
strong,
You can
maybe
Yes.
this one that's much softer than this.
Yeah,
metal. Metal.
yes, sure.
It's like the idea we are taking the elements from outside, you know, like the
Yeah.
Yes,
or if
which
you are
wood?
just using the elements.
It's a command you're giving to the body. Not that 5 elements, you're giving a command to the body. It doesn't mean the command, when command is I don't know, when the command is using the water to destroy fire, it doesn't mean you are using the water reserves, the water tank of the person to pour on the fire. It's just you're giving the idea. Okay, it's not so physical. It's more like the command.
The choice for 37 or 38
I
is
made a
depending on
mistake.
the gua. If the gua is
You have a star on this one.
yeah,
I would just say.
okay.
You want
But if there's no star, for instance, is it important that this is the
metal
young Earth and this is
To
the mid
reduce,
Earth?
yeah, metal on the top.
It can be important, but since here you have a star, then don't. This week we teach in the 5 element class, so don't worry. It's not the purpose of that exercise.
Also with
the young
Yeah, just
metal.
take this one. Sorry, I didn't understand. What do you want? Yes.
the water pools.
And I want a little bit more earth.
You want more earth.
Just to be
Yeah. You want to control. So you are more in the idea that this person has a water excess, and then you want more earth to control the water.
Because what is water excess? Because I would say, because she is tired.
She can be.
I would say,
It can be an excess of water if you're cold. If you're too much drifting, if you're,
I have to see.
So it can be considered. That's why what is very important is to have a multiple reading. The reading from the pulse, the reading from the symptoms, everything together, right? So maybe you can consider this, double check with her, but it's possible that she first you diagnose an imbalance of water, and then if from the clinic you see that the story about this person is that too much water, not enough earth, then you can decide. It seems that you relate to that, right? Okay, so that's very good. You know, water is one element that is very easily afraid, especially when, if you have too much water, you can be afraid of anything, you know? Because water, you never know water can take whatever shape. Water never knows in where you are putting it, so it's always kind of afraid of what's going to happen to it. You know, you can. So that could be something. Okay. So and again, does that relate to you? Do you feel that the story happening? And that's important to verify as well. And then you can go for that. I know we are always like, oh, water deficiency or kidney deficiency, blah blah. It doesn't. All the elements that can be excess or deficient. Okay, and why? Exactly. And you know, there was a lot of misunderstanding. A lot of diagnoses were made like because again, chi deficient, spleen chi deficient, kidney chi deficient, kidney yang deficient, blah blah blah. Why? Also because those were created right after there was the communism in China, and people were really deficient because they had nothing to eat. So there were a lot of pathologies of deficiency. So people were thinking of that, but nowadays, and especially in our Western country, we don't have that same problem of a lot of deficiencies. Okay, they are also people, they are okay? So that's important to consider.
And what do we need now?
For me,
Oh, sorry, I see. Yes. Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
this is the kidney.
The rest is the same.
Now it's instant.
Yeah.
Same.
Because that's where I place it. No, but it's not such a little thing. It goes here.
So
So it's on the heel.
It's on the heel.
Kidney is 3 here.
Yeah, and then 4.
That's 4 here.
You are? Okay.
Here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I go 4 here. Yeah.
On the bone?
It doesn't
Yeah, on the bone.
Là, t'as un trou.
make different.
No, but no. Like here.
No, left, right.
Kidney 4 here.
Et puis là, dans le trou.
2. And then kidney 7.
So
You feel it here.
balance liver,
And you can also put your intention, okay? When you look for the point, okay, that's another thing we can practice when we are in presence. You look, okay, I want kidney 2, I want kidney 2, yeah.
Okay,
You get it. I want kidney 4, I want kidney 4, where is it? Kidney 4 here. Even I'm closing my eyes. You see?
Ouais.
I want kidney 7. Here.
Spleen 6.
Yeah, you can do with whatever point. Everybody is asking what. Yeah, so 5. It's 6.
feels like soft.
After we will need 2, 3,
Yeah,
4, 5,
after
6,
that,
7,
this is the
all
practice,
at the
okay?
same
So I'm
time.
just helping them with their points. Later on, we can do kneading practice, okay? But now spell practice.
Okay.
you have the chance.
So
4 and 5 because it's very close.
2, 4, 7.
And 5, where's 5 then? There. Okay.
Là, t'es juste sous l'os, en fait. You're just under the bone. Yeah.
Yes, this
Young
is
wood,
the
young
here.
metal.
We
Yes.
want yin metal. In metal.
You had yin metal and yang metal. Yin wood, yang wood.
Okay, so you choose the small intestine meridian
To lower
In metal only.
to lower the heat.
In metal.
Yang metal, yin metal.
You use water on top of fire. Yeah, it's the correct choice.
This is yang, yin metal.
It's fast, but less punchy, but I think more fire.
It's still fast, but maybe you just needle?
7?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Or
wait
this,
a little
also
bit
better,
because
I
sometimes when
so
you
fast.
just needle and especially Jing well, we can.
It's not wired. Because it was bouncy before.
It's more, yeah, no, it's not wired.
No.
I know. It's getting slower.
Maar dus zijn dat
The one with no needle?
stelde is.
I think this one is slippery. Here you see more the earth. It's not bouncing anymore.
It's
That's
not
for
bouncy
sure.
anymore. It's saying
That's
I thought
for sure.
I thought it's gonna be more.
So you could feel already the immediate change. And I feel a little bit of slippery, the earth spots. You see, you can check and see what you feel. And this one also did slippery. Okay, so you can check again, and of course you ask your patient if the patient feels a difference or not. And just after a few minutes, okay, you needle, you wait a few minutes, and you ask the difference to the patient. Okay. Okay, so let's check. Who already put the needle? Oh, you're needling. Very good. What is this point? Ah, okay. You're doing it by the book. Okay. Here. This is too much.
Okay.
This is St. Joseph's.
Here?
Yes, that's why I always like in the classes, in our trainings, that not only we name the points, but we show, okay, where we would needle them, because sometimes we realize that there are very big differences in understanding of the points. So you see here, we corrected something very important. Look at the difference between the 2 points. Okay, so that's very important. Did you get the chi sensation? Okay, then you can remove this one. And you wait.
Do you want me to explain your
Ah, sorry. Yes.
Because I'm not going to. So we start with from a wood excess.
Yes. You double check with the symptoms of the
Yeah.
patient. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Good.
So the solution was to increase the fire
To use the fire to sedate the wood.
the wood or to use the water to control
Yes.
the wood. So I took the Sanjiao meridian,
Yes.
wood meridian.
Mm-hmm.
This is my Sanjiao,
Yes.
and I turn to have the solution above the problem.
Yes. Very good.
I choose a metal gua.
But this is not metal at the top. This is wood at the top.
This one?
Yes. This is wind. And this is mountain. So you made the mistake in your
Yes,
definition.
I mixed lung and
Yes. This is yeah. So you need to work again on that. Leave the point because maybe it will end up being the same point, but I mean, include also St. Joseph, but this is mistake. Then here's the packet. So you want me to help you? If you the metal, okay, you can do heaven or lake. The wood, you can do wind, or you can do thunder.
In principe heeft zij geen waterpoort.
Then you can write, you have 4 options of destination gua. Then you can choose according to different criteria. Which of the destination gua have a star? Okay, so they have a good meaning in Dr. Tan's chart. Also, you can check which point they end up to have to needle on the Senjao. You can check is it going to be too many needles or not? So you have different criteria, and then you can check which one you want to prioritize.
Yeah, yes, yes.
On se demande toujours quel point on doit appliquer.
Ah, really helpful point.
Yes.
She had the waterfalls.
Okay, so on which meridian do you want to needle? You think about that, then you told me again. You have water element. You want on which element do you want to act? Do you want to act? If you want to act on the water and decrease the water, then you need to pick the water meridian. If you want to strengthen the earth, you need to needle on an earth meridian. Which one you want? Do you want stomach or spleen? Or do you want kidney or do you want UV? And then I can help you to design your destination well. Okay? If the first thing you saw is water pulse, okay, then you can first decide you want to decrease the water on the water meridian. Okay, so how do you want to decrease the water? Which element do you want to use? And then you can ask yourself the same question. If you want to strengthen the earth, okay, what element do you want to use to strengthen the earth? So you can write your little 5-element diagram, okay, and you look at the relationships. For example, do you want to reduce water using the sun of water? Do you want to control water? Yeah. Okay, where are you? Oh, so what did you do here? So the fire,
Because it's very tight and little tension on here.
see there the fire with
So you
earth,
can take
okay?
advantage when you choose your one
Destination was
to have the 5 elements.
Yes,
Earth on water.
yes,
Earth on
fire.
Project
And so I
Also,
got the 8, 7, 5, 4, 3.
me wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes.
That's
The other thing you can do when you
So it's
see that,
something
you
you
can
can
do
add.
it on the small intestine.
Yeah.
You will have less needles,
Yeah.
it's just one.
Yeah, but here.
Yeah, just one, but there, yes.
One projection
But it
because
doesn't make sense that you choose the heart because fire is more an emotion than it is more physical
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
I should think
both
that
sides.
Yeah.
wrong.
No, no,
You have
it's a
small
good,
emphasis that it's more constipation and that kind of
it's why when you
not necessarily, but you can consider that at least the in channels, like heart or lung, they will act on the more in parts, subtle parts, not the inside part of the symptoms. And the young channel, they will act more on the what is more expressed outside, okay, about that element.
on the left side.
Okay, inner heat, for example, you will feel the heat more inside, right? And the other, so that maybe a bit closer to heart. Also, emotional heat, like you feel inside boiling, etc. But then a more young fire will be more like a person really blowing, like going outside, or having heat, or like skin level, things like that. Face, things like that. But ultimately, it's not bad if you can use both, okay? But if you want a more subtle difference, that's the one that could be.
But it didn't change a lot her pulse.
If you use
Okay, so you needle the water. I mean, to tonify the water. Did you take the pulse right after?
Yes.
Okay,
It was a bit stronger.
it was a bit more balanced for the water. Okay.
For the heat,
energy
her pulse is still more rapid than it should.
Yeah.
Okay, so rapid, more rapid than what it should be is different from more, more rapid or less fast than what it was before needling. So do you feel that after needling, you can feel that after needling the pulse is still fast, but it's less fast. Is that what you?
Yeah, not really.
Not really. Okay, let me check.
with projection.
It's okay. It's not that fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
So sometimes you
are
need to wait for 1 minute or two.
Yeah.
Especially after you have needles a lot, sometimes the pulse can be fast, okay, depending on your needle technique.
projection or meridian correlation.
But here I don't feel it's abnormally fast.
No, well, it's better.
It's better? Very good. So see, you did a good, you did a pulse diagnosis, you verified it with the symptoms of the patient, the clinic of the patient, then you found your treatment,
Not a good result.
Not.
and then you needle, and you could check the difference. This is great.
Fire.
Congratulations. I give both of you a sticker, and then you can reverse.
And just about the floating pulse, you just find it on
But
it's
it's
simple or
impossible
stronger.
because you can't.
It's floating is that when you feel it, it's at the surface, immediately at the surface, and it disappears when you go down. Yes, it's less, sometimes it's not completely disappearing, but it's less strong. It's more present on the surface. Okay?
You don't like the person.
Then of course there are other considerations. When we really go like deep into pulse diagnosis, then we make a difference between those things. But I know people usually they tend to be very like too anxious about pulse, so they immediately go to yes, this one is more than this one is more, and they forget to look at the big picture of the pulse. That's why the exercise today is really about the big picture, okay, and forget about the position, motion. Okay? Oh, so I give you stickers.
You don't take risk with this.
Okay. Stickers. Thank you. Another sticker.
So much risk.
Yeah.
But if you
Okay,
want
then you
to
can
use
reverse
water
yours.
on fire, I don't know, okay, but it can be more.
More strong, yeah. In pulse diagnosis, you always do like this. If I take a pulse in your clinic,
Yes,
you also do pulse.
yes. But